Ouch. Oh. That must have hurt. That would have never happened if those cars had a GPS or global positioning system in their possession. On a more serious note, this video is going to focus on the wondrous world that is GPS, or the global positioning system. GPS has become a buzzword in today's society. When you hear one of your friends say, "Oh man, I just got a new GPS and it is great," what they're actually talking about is a portable unit that can receive and display the information that the global positioning system is sending out. What the Global Positioning System really is a constellation of satellites called the Global Navigation System, or GNSS, that was developed by the Department of Defense and is managed by the United States Air Force 50th Space Wing. So when they say we fight in air, space, and cyberspace, they were not kidding. The system now belongs to Space Command, which is soon going to be stood up at Peterson Air Force Base next to Northcom Command. The satellites transmit precise radio wave signals, which are directed toward the Earth, so when your friend's receiver picks up the signal, they can tell what their current location, time, and velocity are from this constellation. The official name for the constellation is Navstar GPS. The idea of individual navigation systems started in the military during World War II. Systems such as LORAN and the Deccan Navigator were ground-based radio wave navigation systems that helped soldiers navigate through unknown terrain. When Sputnik, the Soviet Union's first man-made satellite, was launched, the United States Department of Defense got the idea of navigation through space. As they traced the satellite's position in its orbit, they realized that they could monitor its position using an algorithm accounting for the Doppler effect, or the change in time for a wave to travel from different distances. It was discovered that position on Earth could be tracked if the satellite's position was known. In the 1970s, the United States began prototyping and developing navigational satellites for the Global Positioning System. The program was originally supposed to be a system for military use only. However, after a Korean plane was shot down for unknowingly venturing into restricted Soviet airspace, President Ronald Reagan declared the system open to civilians as well, seeing its obvious benefits for everybody. Since then, 59 satellites have been put into orbit, with 31 still currently operational. As of right now, there are plans for 36 more in the works. Some of the uses for GPS are to aid navigation worldwide. Others include map-making, land surveying, commerce, and tracking satellites. It is also the main time sync method for cellular network protocols and satellite radio transmissions such as IS-95 and CDMA. How does the GPS actually work, though? When your receiver obtains all this information, how does that data get turned into the maps we see on today's TomToms and Magellans we use in our cars? It works because of the proper timing system that satellites have within their central processing units. When a receiver displays all this data, it is really combining 4 radio signals from 4 different satellites and overlapping their data to make those precise maps and timing instruments. There are 4 different dimensions that GPS has to take into account for the timing error that occurs when beaming a signal down to a receiver at the speed of light while orbiting the Earth. These 4 dimensions are X, Y, Z, and T. The first 3 being the 3 dimensions that we have grown accustomed to, and a 4th timing dimension in which the signal error needs to be compensated for. There are formulas that the computers use to precisely predict what the proper time is. For the sake of this video, all you need to know is that those 4 satellites relay information down to your receiver, which then in turn takes the data it has received, processes it, and uses those formulas to derive a time, velocity, and position relative to where you are on the Earth at that time. Originally, this system was designed for the military to help win wars. The real use of GPS has come from the civilian side, and with this modern system has come new advancements that simplify our lives in ways previously we would have never fathomed. There are different segmentations such as the user and navigation signals. These are transmitted over 5 frequencies, L1 through L5. Within these frequencies are contained all the navigation and various other information disseminated to the receivers. These frequencies were handicapped on purpose, however. In order to prevent an accurate missile attack, the United States government has handicapped civilian receivers to a range of between 100 to 300 feet. Only a few select users can access the true preciseness of the system, and they have to possess specially made receivers with proper authorization and passcodes. This handicap in the system for civilian use is called selective availability. In closing, GPS has been a great advancement for information technology. Its uses are almost infinite, and without it, the technological world would be completely different. We do not have to anymore rely on the astrolabe and pen and paper to figure out where we're going and how far it is. From traveling in a foreign country and not knowing where you are, to planning the next daily trip to grandmother's house, it's the little things that GPS does that benefit us the most. There is no more need to carry a map in your car because a portable TomTom unit can tell you how far you want to go and give you the step-by-step directions on how to get there. It will also tell you the proper time of travel, which in the new global marketplace means money. It allows information and human capital to get from one place to another faster and more efficiently than before. This new development in technology means more money and ease of use for businesses as well, who need real-time directions and information on their position. The best part of the whole thing is that technology is free, essentially. The receivers that are made commercially to receive the signals are fairly cheap and easy to use, making the world a better place because of this modern technological miracle.